don't know why the village council would be afraid of litigation from a $24 million a year company while they ekes out a $65 million a year company. I cannot believe you would make me audition for you. You look like clowns. I am not bluffing. I will take it all off the table. That's all.
Comedian Dave Chappelle, unfortunately, put a stop to a construction project that would have developed affordable housing in the community that he lives in, Yellow Springs, Ohio. Now, he made his objection to this project clear, and as you can see, pretty forceful about how he objected to the project. And it wasn't the first time he objected to the construction of affordable housing in this community. And obviously, let me be clear, there are other community members who attended that meeting who were against it as well. Now, just to give you some background and context, the village initially asked for the development to advance affordable housing in the village, including an area that the village would later be able to develop into affordable housing, as well as more duplexes and townhomes. After complaints from numerous residents, including comedian Dave Chappelle, Village Council voted 2-2 with one abstention on the revised planned unit development zoning. So what does that mean exactly? Well, the developer here, known as Oberer Homes, can move forward with a new development in Yellow Springs, but without the affordable housing component initially promised to the village. That means the zoning reverts to what was previously approved. 143 single family homes on the lot, with the homes starting at about $300,000 according to village documents. Initially, the development would have included the land that would be allocated specifically for the affordable housing to be built at a later time, which, to be honest with you, that wording I was a little skeptical about. Like, why not get started with the affordable housing immediately? Why are they planning on getting to that later? That raised a few red flags for me. But members of the community, including Dave Chappelle, seem to have a problem with the idea of developing that affordable housing and also, housing that would include duplexes, fourplexes. You get the point.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess he's jumped the shark. So this is terrible. So he's enraged that people that aren't incredibly wealthy might live next to him. So he won. Congratulations, Dave. So now there's going to be 143 single family homes, and only single family homes. If you can't afford a home like that, that's your problem, not Dave's problem. And each of those houses start at least $300,000, okay? And so no poor people for you, all right? So congratulations, Dave Chappelle, champion of the incredibly wealthy and the business owner, CEO Dave Chappelle throws out. By the way, that's exactly the kind of threats ExxonMobil and other companies do. Hey, if you don't give us exactly what we want, we'll end our business with you. So he must be so proud. And then what was that stupid line about, I'm not gonna audition for you? Hey, it isn't about you, jerk. It's about people who could have actually had a nice home there. And by the way, even for your side, right? This is called democracy. Okay, you participated, I'm happy about that. That's the only thing I'm happy about in this story. But he makes it sound like, the city council's doing this to him. And they made him go and speak there. Like when they should already know that a wealthy baron has already spoken. How dare you have me come out here and audition for you?
So
I'm gonna pull my $65 million from you. Do you know how wealthy I am? Shut up, Chappelle. You've become disgusting now.
Yeah, well, let me give you context in regard to what he means, right? When he brings up the $65 million, he also mentioned, I think $24 million in litigation. I'm guessing that he's referring to possible litigation if the council votes to undo what they had originally planned on doing, which is building the affordable housing along with multifamily homes, so duplexes and all of that. He's basically saying, look, if you're worried about that litigation, cool, but remember, I'm investing $65 million into this community, and he's doing so by building a restaurant, the Firehouse Eatery, and also a comedy club. And so, look, this is this is getting a lot of attention because of the fact that it's Dave Chappelle, but this is very commonplace among city council meetings, town meetings. You'll have members of the community, typically individuals who are affluent, who have significant amounts of money, come in and, of course, oppose any type of affordable housing that's being proposed and make threats like this, right? We're gonna take our business elsewhere and what have you. And that scares city leaders. Like, they're terrified of that. They're terrified of losing those types of investments. Also, just to be very specific about what the original plan was, the development that council voted on Monday night would have included 64 single family homes rather than the now 143 single family homes, 52 duplexes and 24 townhouses with an additional 1.75 acres to be donated to the community for affordable housing to be built later. That was the initial plan. Now, all of that is scrapped. Instead of the duplexes, instead of the affordable housing, the only thing that they're gonna build is the 143 single family homes. And other community members spoke up and said that they were concerned about congestion. There was one concern that I thought was legitimate that was brought up, and it was the concerns about how that original deal would also lead to an HOA in the area, which I don't care if I'm in a condo, I don't care if I'm in a house, I don't care if I'm living in a shack in that community. If anyone proposes an HOA when I don't have to deal with an HOA, I'm against it. But I'm just keeping it real. But that was the only legitimate concern, if you ask me, because
they're not gonna make people who already have single family homes in the neighborhood join an HOA. That's every part of this is nonsense, okay? You're not gonna get retroactively put in an HOA. It's just totally made up. The congestion, it's what every hateful group says. So I remember in my hometown of East Brunswick, New Jersey, they were gonna put in a Hindu temple, and instantly everybody said, congestion. Oh, we're so worried about congestion. No, you're not. You're worried about a Hindu temple.
So look, I think in that case, you could make the point that it's hateful. But I don't think it's always hateful. I do think that the argument comes from a place of selfishness, right? Of not wanting to experience any type of what they feel would be an inconvenience, even though it would actually make so many people's lives better. And I would even venture to say would not make their lives inconvenient in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, I got it. And by the way, whenever there's changes, there's a little bit of inconvenience. It's true. And especially in a city like LA, there's tons of congestion everywhere. I understand that. In East Brunswick, there was no congestion in that part of town. I knew exactly what they were talking about. It was nonsense. Most of the time, it's not about hate. And in this case, it's not either. This is about just NIMBY, not in my backyard. And look, guys, I know why it happens, and you should know why it happens, so you know they're not monsters. I understand the point of view. They're like, hey, look, I got a house here, and it's, make up a number, $485,000. And you put poor people within a 5-mile perimeter of me, I think it's gonna go down to $435,000. Now, most of the time, that is way overblown. But could that happen? Theoretically, it could. And then the guy says, wait a minute, I lost $50,000. That matters a lot to me, okay? That's why people get super angry about any type of affordable housing in their town. And that's why we can't have affordable housing anywhere, because everybody gets selfish and goes, not in my backyard, not in my backyard. The reason why I'm more mad at Chappelle is because he doesn't have to worry about home prices.
Totally.
He doesn't have to worry, okay, what, did your $10 million house become a $9.5 million house? I don't know anything about his house, but you know that Dave Chappelle's not hurting for money. He's talking about putting in $65 million into these businesses. He's got plenty of money, so if anyone shouldn't do NIMBY, it's Dave Chappelle.
Cenk, that's such a good point. It's such a good point. I hadn't even thought about that. And to be honest with you, oftentimes when I think about the NIMBY folks, I don't really consider the fact that they're worried about a drop in their property values.
Yeah.
And look, I think that that is a symptom. I'm not agreeing with it and I'm definitely not defending it, but it is a symptom of a larger problem that we see in this country, where literally the only way Americans were able to build wealth, and by the way, this isn't even an opportunity for people anymore, but the only one way that Americans could build wealth in this country was through buying a home and building equity. And so that's why they're so protective of it. Like, I understand the logic behind it, not defending it, but it shows that there's a problem when people just see this one avenue to build wealth for themselves and their family, and there's no other opportunity available. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%. And so it's an incredibly selfish act. And if you're in the middle class, I understand why you do it, even though it's deeply frustrating. But if you're in the, in the class that Dave Chappelle is in terms of wealth, it's inexcusable. And it's clear now that he has rich man's disease. And so this is exactly what billionaire NFL owners do. Well, I could take my team to another town unless you build a massive stadium for free for me. I'm gonna take all the profits, and I want the taxpayers, poor middle class and otherwise, to pay for my stadium that I will take profits off of, because I am rich and I deserve everything, right? And I mentioned ExxonMobil earlier because, by the way, there's a very similar case, a little bit different, but you'll get the point. Former CEO of ExxonMobil, Rex Tillerson, who was also Trump's Secretary of State for a short period of time, did fracking all across the country, made gazillions of dollars off of it as the CEO of ExxonMobil. When they were gonna do fracking near his house, he said, not in my backyard, fracking is dangerous. Oh, okay, so it's not dangerous when you do it in our backyard, but when all of a sudden it comes next to a rich man's house, and a guy who's made, I don't know if it's tens of millions or hundreds of millions of dollars from fracking, then turns around and says, not in my backyard. So congratulations, Dave Chappelle. Now you're in that category of people.
So Dave Chappelle responded to all the backlash he's receiving through a spokesperson. We'll get to that comment in a second, but I just want to note that this isn't the first time he has voiced his objection to the development of affordable housing in that community. In fact, according to the Dayton Daily News, in December of 2021, Chappelle noted he was invested or had invested millions of dollars in town and said he was adamantly opposed to it. If you push this thing through, he said, what I'm investing is no longer applicable, Chappelle said. Now, a spokesperson did respond to calls for some statement. There has been a lot of backlash. And here is what Carla Sims, the spokesperson, has to say. Dave Chappelle didn't kill affordable housing. Concerned residents and a responding village council killed a half-baked plan which never actually offered affordable housing.
Nonsense, right. Lie.
There's more. Neither Dave nor his neighbors are against affordable housing. However,
yeah, lie.
They are against the poorly vetted cookie cutter sprawl style development deal, which has little regard for the community, culture, and infrastructure of the village. The whole development deal, cloaked as an affordable housing plan, is anything but affordable. 3 out of the 143 lots would have been for future affordable housing. The rest of the homes were to be priced between $250,000 and upward of $600,000 in Yellow Springs and in many other areas or places. This is not considered affordable housing.
So then, Dave, did you go and make it? I say Dave as if I know him, but I don't. I just want to be clear. But Chappelle, did you ever fight for affordable housing that was real affordable housing in your opinion? Did you ever make it clear before you got blowback that you were, I'm actually for affordable housing, I just don't think this is affordable enough? Did you push forward that project? Did you ever explain that? Did you ever clarify that? No, you didn't. All you said is, I don't want no goddamn affordable housing near me, I'm rich now. I don't want the affordable housing near me. Put it next to other people, maybe poor people. So, screw Dave Chappelle. Look, guys, these guys get in a bubble, right? And then they have other rich friends, and they all get together, and they're like, oh yeah, man, being rich is, we're the victims. We should put them in that billionaire rich men crying compilation now, right? Oh no, the wealth estate tax, the wealth tax is the worst thing in the world. Poor people or middle class people living next to you is the worst thing in the world. And they all agree, they're all like, oh yeah, and they slap each other's asses. Oh yeah, you're so right, being rich is awesome, being poor sucks. Let's kick him out of town. Shut up, Chappelle. Go in and hang out with your right-wing rich friends now and enjoy that. No interest. Yeah. And by the way, hasn't been funny in years and years. Like, people are laughing there. Why? Because he's a celebrity and you think he's gonna be funny. He was just yelling at poor people. What was funny about that? Thanks for watching The Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.